Okay, basically, this morning I woke up and I was just really thinking about, I guess, the things I went through with Vernon over there at the shop and so forth. Here, this guy is like a self made millionaire in assets. And I say basically when I worked for him before, like in 97, I would go and I do electrical troubleshooting for him on like a Porsche and some other equipment. And as far as my understanding, you're supposed to get, well, they charge anywhere from like 80 to $100 an hour for electrical work. And I basically back then never got paid. He never came up to me, even asked me if I needed something for lunch or at the end of the week, maybe asked me if I needed anything. He never did this at all. So here I come back 2014 and I go to him, because clearly the guy, believes in me. He sees how intelligent I am, and in a sense, I feel like he was asking for help. So I go over and I'm living in a room at the shop, and he turns me on to different stuff that he needs fixed. You know, like his it's like a generator, portable generator, and some other items. I fixed basically his air compressor that was had a leaking PVC pipe. I repaired that and did some other. Was trying to fix another air compressor that the motor. He had me change out the motor, and but yet still it was like inside the air compressor it had some locked up components. I figured that out, and that's why it wasn't working properly. So he never came to me to pay me or ask me, hey man, I'll give you this much, or I got this much, or you know, he never offered. And basically, like I said, this guy is a self-made millionaire in assets. So other times he come to me and he had different issues going on at his house, like say his fan, the fan motor went out inside his condenser outside his house, and the condenser is like, I don't know, it's over 15 years old if I'm not mistaken. So I'm doing repairs to equipment and not charging them half. I'm really not charging them really anything, just looking for him to be a friend to me when it comes for my time of need, you know. And go over there and actually his wife, I noticed whenever she first met me, she kind of was like, hey, So this was way back in uh, after Katrina when they came up for my stepson's graduation. And so we get to meet again and we talk and so forth. And initially, different things that I found Vernon was doing, I just like, you're a Christian. There's certain things you shouldn't be doing. You're a married man. Sad to say, after I got to know his wife, I was like, okay, now I understand why you're doing what you're doing. You know, she's a big, because one day, basically, I think I was something had happened, and she sends me an ugly, nasty email, well, text message that the shop is in her name and Vernon works for her and this and that. And I'm like, hey, Louisiana is a common law state. You know, if you're married, what's yours is his, and what's his is yours. So this power she thinks she has over Vernon, it's mute because it's a lot of stuff that she doesn't comprehend fully. So I never brought up the issue and so forth, but I just like a lot of the stuff, you're very disrespectful, you're very rude, and obnoxious. And she said, now she told me that Juan at one point, a Spanish couple that was living there at the shop, told her she was a bitch, which true. So just said I would go over there. She got me to wire up the garage, or like say a house that was in the backyard, for her to have an office. So whenever she needed to do her income taxes and so forth for the shop every year, this would be an office that she could go into and do her work. And I did it. My back was hurting and everything. I dug a trench. Basically, they had one dug, but it wasn't nowhere, like a first off, like a straight line. It wasn't, it was poorly done. So I had to redo it to make sure, I got the wires a foot under the yard. Basically, it has to be 12 inches down for it to be code. So I installed a panel inside, so it's out of the water, and you know, I'm thinking that she's going to use this as her office. So and basically I just charged her material. Not even, like I said, I'm thinking that, these are my friends. I'm gonna help them, you know, because actually, when my time comes, I really want them to return the favor. So we got basically into a situation with the rent. Like I told her, I was like, I was paying rent, then I'm doing work at the shop, and y'all still expecting me to pay rent. I'm just like, what about paying me for what I'm doing? You know, nothing is free. And then too, it's not what you want to pay me; it's what I'm charging. Y'all have never came to me properly, asked me like, what am I charging? You know, you just want to get over on me. Whereas, like say, Doc would come around, he want to scoop me up, take me this, take me that. He would never pay for my time. He just want to use me. And only here I get a white man. Thomas comes around anytime that he has something. Man, he makes sure he pays me for compensates me for my time properly. Even I'll be like, nah, dude, you gave me a refrigerator. You did this for me. He's like, nah, here. Nothing in life is free. So that was like respect. Everything with the black man, they want to use each other. They want to take advantage of each other. Think, oh, they got this over you that you owe them. And like I said, they never asked me or really realize what my time is worth. I work on vehicles, do scans on vehicles and try to troubleshoot the electronics and so forth. In the shop, mainly, they used to charge $100, upward to $100 an hour. Because electrical troubleshooting, you got to you got to see the problem in operation for you to figure it out. A lot of stuff, when I'd have to go on the computer and research, none of my time was ever paid for. They just never even thought about me. Never even really entered their mind at all. Like I said, just using me. So when I get to the shop and the issue of rent comes up, I explain to them, all right, I'm doing this, I'm doing that around the shop in an effort to help Vernon. Nothing is free. So I laid down. I was like, if I was getting paid minimum wage, 40 hours a week, when I'm turning in, you owe me like $700 after rent is paid, per month. But I'm doing this. When Vernon don't show up till like 10, 10:30 or 11 or whatever because he goes to the junkyard, I'm answering the phone. I'm dealing with the customers that comes by. My time is valuable and that adds up, but they never think about that. They never care to even consider that, Like I said, just all the different projects Vernon would put me on. Hey, go look the motor in the other shop about the lift, or do any type of like say repairs in the shop, the heaters or even the battery chargers, or even working on vehicles. He never offered any kind of payment. Never. They would get food from different places. He'd never even think about getting me food. And that's what my life was consideration. Everybody using everybody, and that's some bullshit, basically. So, here I set up, they get the surveillance because, I've been getting on in their ass about that because, they've been talking about getting a surveillance system for a long time. And then it's just like the ball got dropped when somehow Doc got involved, telling him wrong shit that he doesn't even know. And then it takes her, she keeps lying to me. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. And I told her, I'm like, don't tell me shit if you're not going to do it. Do what you say. Be a man, be a person of your own word. And she had kind of like was taken back when I told her that one time because it was like she was telling me about she was going to get a computer and this and that. And I'm like, a lot of y'all living off of other people. Get your own shit, learn how to operate your own shit. So in a way, you could teach your grandchildren, to help you, to make it a family business. But in a sense, you using these people for their health and you're not properly compensating them. Like Miss D. Miss D had the program that would tell them estimates of how much it would, the parts and costs and how much it would take time and labor to do this and do that. And I was like, why don't y'all have an account? Why are y'all relying on this woman, And basically, how are you paying this woman? Because in a sense, we need to work out how I'm going to be paid, you know. So, like I said, they get the surveillance system, I got my surgery coming up. I got different stuff I'm trying to get in order before I know I'm going to be down. I bust my ass. I get the surveillance system up, and then I get betrayed. Basically, the woman, like I said, I'm going over to her house. She's showing me I rewired some lights on the back porch and made them code. Basically, putting MC cable, metal clad uh, electrical wires in the back and properly wired everything up. So she has some inside projects that she wants me to do. So I walk, I'm following her. She's in like workout attire, some little tight yoga pants and stuff. I'm seeing, too much basically. And then she leads me upstairs and her ass is all in my face and stuff. And I'm just like, and she leads me to the bedroom and some stuff to me is just like completely, women are just disrespectful to me. And I just like, she was trying to get me to, lay her in her husband's bed just to get back at him, his relation, about her finding out that he had a relationship. That was just like, I'm just like, this woman says she's a Christian. She's doing all this stuff for the church. Yeah, she had me go and help the church out with their AC at one point. I'm doing work. I'm trying to figure out this and doing that. In the end, like I said, I never got paid for the most part. I didn't really care about that. I was helping my friend out, Mo, who was the air conditioning guy and some other stuff. So when it comes your turn to help me out, expecting the same, consideration. But here, like I said, she has it looking like I told Vernon. Well, I told her about Vernon's relationship. Got me caught up in the cross. And I keep telling them, like, keep me out of your personal business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. At times, like I said, you're doing inappropriate things like wearing these tights or whatever and having your ass all in my face trying to show me stuff inside the house, which I felt disrespectful. You got a husband, and you're kind of like taking me in your bedroom and then the work never materialized. So it just shows to me that she was just like bullshitting me, trying to put me in situations. So, from that, I just like, man, I explained to Vernon that, all right, this woman's called me 11, 12 o'clock at night. Where Vernon at? That's not my place. That's not for you to call me. Why are you calling me? Number one, you don't pay me anything, you know. So I'm not in your debt. You're actually in my debt because you owe me for the things that I've done. And you're trying to, like I said, you're creating problems, by calling me and having me in the cross with personal issues, you know, trying to act like I'm the one that's telling you different information and so forth. So I expose you, Tell the truth, shame the devil. I tell her in front of uh, their daughter. I tell them in front of Vernon and so forth. No, Vernon, she's doing inappropriate things. She lies. She's a liar, Vernon. You know, she's old-faced liar. And this is why she got me caught up in the cross and telling you, making it look like I'm telling your business and so forth. Whereas she's telling me that the woman called her and told her, you know, checked her, and then she had to tell the woman that this, you know, she's Vernon's wife and so forth. And then I kind of find out the history that you always had affairs and so forth. And this woman in particular, she just doesn't like. So she's being vindictive and trying to get me to do things to get back at you. That's messy. That's childish. And that's basically what I told her. I was like, you're a big ass child, spoiled ass child, bad ass child, you know. And this shit just was not right. So, like I said, whenever they put me out, whenever she had me put out, when I needed, you know I had spinal fusion. And then I explained to her how my stuff got stolen out my vehicle. And she goes in and has my items taken out my room, taken out the room that I had. It was behind a locked door, you know, exposing it to the public. Vernon never thought to have my stuff put back in the room at all. You know, my stuff come up missing now. I got power drills is gone. I got tools, other tools is missing. I got my suits, they missing. My dress shirts, they gone. You know, all and my change jar, it's gone. People robbing me, but yet Spider want to come and run and tell me, oh, don't take the unit, this and that. Oh, you looking out for one, but you're not giving a fuck about my stuff coming up missing. You not, oh, I don't know nothing about it. That's what you tell me. And that's some fucked up shit that black people got that's going on. And they like I said, they don't stick up for each other. Ham, you know. As far as instead of helping a brother, they mock and make fun of this and that and so forth. Nah, man, I did a lot for you. I did a lot for y'all, you know. And basically, y'all lack consideration. Y'all lack, you know, true qualities of a friend. Like the Bible says, it is easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because they get beside themselves.